What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another update for you guys, an international roundup as international break draws to a close and we can concentrate on Tottenham for the foreseeable future now, seeing as there's no international break for quite a while now, which is music to all of our ears. And just before we get into the international roundup, I just want to give you this update from Rahman Osman, which is quite interesting. And he says that the response to Conte's decision to ban ketchup and fizzy drinks has been universally positive amongst the Spurs players. The feeling around the club is positive. And if you want to cast your mind back to when Juan de Ramos took over and he famously took ketchup off the table and all these kind of sweets and all these kind of things, the feeling I don't think was too positive back then with the likes of Tommy Huddleston and the rest of them. I don't think they kind of took to that too well. So it's music to all our ears that the current Spurs squad do have the mentality and they are kind of warming to the idea and really are getting to grips with the Conte system. And when you're looking at the Spurs players on international break, I mean, they really are performing. Every single one of them seem to have a really successful international break, which we'll get into in a second. But pushing back on that Rahman Osman update, Tim Sherwood saying, banning ketchup, what a load of nonsense. And that's just Tim Sherwood in a nutshell for you. But I wouldn't take too much notice of what he's saying, that's for sure. But back on my point on the international break, since ketchup has been taken off the table for Tottenham, Harry Kane has scored 7 goals and grabbed himself an assist. Sonny has scored a goal from the penalty spot. Matt Doherty performing really well, pocketing Ronaldo in one of the games and having 2 really strong displays for Ireland. Ben Davies getting his first goal for Wales, and then the other ones I'll get into in a second. And obviously Cristian Romero has put in some masterclasses for Argentina, but we'll get into why we're not too happy with what's going on with Cristian Romero at the minute. But let's start off with Netherlands against Norway. It finished 2-0 to Holland on the night, with Holland qualifying for the World Cup. Steven Bergwijn grabbing himself a goal and an assist, and the goal to send Holland to the World Cup, which is really great news, great to see. And what a goal as well, as he fired it into the roof of the net on the right-hand side. Seems like he was on the right-hand side for the goal, but, you know, what a finish it was. He found himself really free at the back post and smashed it in, rifled it into the top corner with 10 minutes to go to send Holland to the World Cup. And then to seal it off, it was an amazing counter-attack, really. It was a Norway corner, and Holland got it away, and suddenly you just see Steven Bergwijn just darting down the centre of the park, literally leaving all the defenders in his distance, and then he plays a nice little square pass to Memphis Depay, who sealed it off 2-0 in the last minute. But the actual thing I was thinking about with that Bergwijn assist, I think that's actually part of the problem with Steven Bergwijn, where he doesn't really have the confidence to take on that shot, because I think he should have slotted that and he should have taken on the shot. And I felt that the pass was a bit too strong and went out a bit too wide, and Memphis Depay did a really good job in sealing it. But all in all, you've got to be happy with the goal and assist from Steven Bergwijn, and we want to see him produce that in Spurs colours now. So big up Steven Bergwijn, sent his country to the World Cup, and maybe it's due to the ketchup coming off the table. But let's move on. Let's talk about Wales against Belgium in a big game for Wales, sealing their playoff spot for the World Cup, and they're in actually seed A as well, so maybe they will be going to Qatar as well. But what happened, it was 1-1. Joe Rodon and Ben Davies both playing 90 minutes, and Joe Rodon having a sensational game, an absolutely sensational game. Last-ditch challenges, last-ditch blocks. I mean, he really should be, with these Wales performances, putting himself in the conversation to start for Tottenham, especially with a big injury news of Cristian Romero, which we'll get into in a second. But with Joe Rodon playing really well for Wales, I mean, it's got to put him in the conversation. Surely it's got to put him in the conversation. But as I said, Wales are through to the playoffs, and I wish them the best of luck in the playoffs, that's for sure. But let's move on to the last couple of updates. Finland lost 2-0 to France, with France safely secure at the World Cup already. But Lloris with another clean sheet, yet another one. That's his second clean sheet of the international break. Czech Republic beating Estonia 2-0 with Maxim Pastoksy playing 87 minutes in the game at right back. So in the first game he played centre back, in the second game he played at right wing back in a back five, so shows his versatility and what experience it is for Maxim playing these kind of teams, Czech Republic and Belgium. And last but not least, let's talk about Argentina against Brazil, which finished 0-0. Cristian Romero playing 53 minutes. Giovanni Lo Celso playing 86 minutes. And unfortunately, Cristian Romero going off with an injury on the 53rd minute. The only blot on the international break, and it's a big one, it really is. And Fabrizio Romano says, bad news for Tottenham Antonio Conte. Cristian Cuti Romero goes off injured in the Argentina-Brazil clash, and it looks like a left thigh injury with medical tests in the next hours to clarify on his problem. And Cuti Romero was playing at a top level again, so it's great to hear he has been playing at a top level. Both these games I've seen rave reviews, but it's really hard to take and really annoying that he is going down injured. It remains to be seen how long he's going to be out for. We have to wait for the test to come back, but with him being out injured, it gives the opportunities for the likes of Rodon, for the likes of Sanchez to work their way into the team. But look, like I said, it's just very annoying. Every single international break we seem to be coming back with some sort of injury. And literally, if you could ask of any player not to get injured aside Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, you would have said Cristian Romero. So very annoying there. And I said that was the last one, but I've actually got one more, but it's Colombia against Paraguay, which finished 0-0 with Davinson Sanchez playing 90 minutes in the game, obviously keeping a clean sheet and playing very well. So all the Spurs players seem to be really coming along this international break. When you cast your mind back to the last couple of international breaks, when Nuno was our manager, none of them seem to have. Harry Kane was off form for England. Yeah, he scored a couple of goals, but he was missing chance after chance. Now netting 7 goals and an assist, yeah, against Albania and San Marino, but still putting them in the back of the net. Sonny grabbing himself a goal. Doherty performing in 2 games, pocketing Cristiano Ronaldo in the meantime. Ben Davies and Joe Rodon really performing for Wales, with Ben Davies getting his first goal for Wales. Bergwijn with a goal and an assist for Holland. Lloris with 2 clean sheets and 2 masterclasses from Cristian Romero for Argentina. We just got to wait for the Romero news. Hopefully it's not as bad as it could be, and hopefully he'll be back. And it is saying that he is just a doubt for this weekend, but the test results haven't come back yet, and we've seen it before, with Heung-min Son. They said he wasn't going to be out for a long time and ended up being out for much longer than we'd hoped for. So let's hope that's not the same for Cristian Romero, and let's hope that he can be at least in the squad for this weekend, but if not, speedy recovery for Cristian Romero. But that is your international roundup. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.